A very good afternoon to you, fellow cruise aficionados, and welcome to our review of a 9-night Caribbean cruise on board of Celebrity Edge. Edge is far from being the largest ship in the world, but she certainly is among the newest, as her maiden voyage was in December of 2018. There are three unique features that set the ship apart from the enormous fleet of floating hotels. The most marketed and most noticeable is the magic carpet. It is a gigantic and very orange balcony that can be positioned on the upper decks, where it works as a bar or a restaurant. It can also be parked on deck 2 and serve as a pier for port tendering boats. I don't have a degree in design, but all I will say, well, wow. To be fair, once you step on this carpet contraption, it does provide a unique and neat view of the ship. By the way, if you expect that you can take a ride up and down on this thing, that's actually not the case. So much for the magic, I suppose. The second thing that makes Edge unique is design of their staterooms, with a feature they call an infinite veranda. We will cover that once we get to the stateroom section of the review. Spoiler alert, Celebrity Cruise Line will not like what we have to say. And finally, the third innovation of the Edge is their theater. Here, as to make up for a few minor disappointments, a unique design of the stage and a neat layout with plenty of seats makes everything work together exceptionally well. I will talk about entertainment shortly, but first let's go for a quick tour around the ship to see what else is worth mentioning. Even though Edge is only slightly smaller than the Anthem of the Seas, a ship that we cruised on and reviewed last year, we felt that this thing is a little more compact in every aspect. Not necessarily a bad thing, by the way. 3-story tall atrium on the lower decks is centered around the phenomenal martini bar and surrounded by premium restaurant and a coffee shop. As everywhere else on the ship, interior design is simply exceptional. Clean, contemporary, very well thought through. Plenty of artwork all around the ship. All the way at the back of the ship, there is a lovely area named Eden. A place to hang out with a drink, watch a show, read a book. Very cozy, incredibly well designed and decorated, with so many books, nooks and crannies for those of us who prefer a bit of privacy with their cocktail or coffee. There is also a small sandwich and salad place, a bar, and a restaurant, where at certain time and entertainment interactions happen around you. Just like Eden drinks, their food is very new age and probably would not work for everyone. Located at the back as well, there are 4 traditional restaurants. We will talk about them in a minute when we cover food and beverages. For now, all I want to say is the dining experience was exceptional. Let's take a quick hike up and see what we have on the top deck. On deck 14 there is a very functional, pleasant buffet with a great selection just about any time of the day we happen to pop in. And a small but very well run bar with a coffee and other beverages. As snobby as we may appear, we do buffet for breakfast and lunch, even dinner sometime when we feel like it. There is a sunset bar a deck higher and an area called the Rooftop Garden. Truly lovely spot with live plants and plenty of seatings, as well as a large screen for movies and whatnot. While that place is indeed awesome, in my opinion a pool would be a better use of that space, especially since the main and only open pool is just too small for the size of this ship. Here I am again redesigning this boat. There is of course a covered pool at the solarium, but that place didn't work for us at all. Frankly, it looked like Celebrity ran out of money by the time they got to it. Too darn bad. Solarium on the Anthem was by far our favorite place. Near the main pool, there are several cabanas that can be rented. Interesting concept indeed, but surprisingly they almost always seem to be occupied. Maybe because the air around the main pool was expectedly busy on sea days. And we are at the front of the ship again, where there's a gym and a spa. This spot is a neat place to relax, read a book or two. Seemed odd to have a steam room so close to the equator, but that worked out well for us. There's a tiny gym a deck above. We all know that working out at sea is overrated, right? And yet there's a neat two-level jogging track that seems to stay busy. Kinda interesting how it goes up and down between decks 15 and 16. A quick trip back down and we are at the club and the theater. And that would be an appropriate time to switch to the topic of entertainment. Entertainment on this cruise was simply exceptional. A couple of great comedians, a few fantastic bands, and of course production shows. As we have mentioned earlier, the layout of the theater is very unusual, with the stage expanding rather far into the theater. That works really well, and the venue was almost always full, without feeling crowded. And all the shows were phenomenal. Fresh, engaging, just absolutely perfect. A true pleasure to watch each and every show, where everything from panoramic projection to impeccable performance weaves into a lovely story. Interestingly enough, Celebrity did 180 on filming and photography policy, and now before every show they announce that the audience is welcome to record and share. Another entertainment venue is the club, located just next door. It also hosted great shows at night, usual cruise activities during the day, and an attempt at silent and otherwise discos. As expected, between all those activities, one has to eat and maybe enjoy a drink or two. So it is time to talk about restaurants and bars. This is another area where this ship excels. We are not foodies, but dining on edge almost made us question that life shows. Celebrity splits traditional dining venue into 4 restaurants and managed to run them exceptionally well. Comfortable seating, great, very personable service, and, of course, awesome food. Part of the menu is fixed, another is unique to the particular restaurant, and yet the last one seemed to change daily. Plenty of variety either way you look at it. What else would one ask for? We did try a premium restaurant one time, a steakhouse. Well, it was really nice. Frankly, we felt that the food in regular dining venues was equally good, if not better. Buffet, the Garden Cafe, was great as well. Solid selection, nice presentation. A tad crowded during peak hours, but that's to be expected. And finally, bars were awesome as well. I would say since Celebrity thinks of itself to be somewhat premium line, more folks use bars or get premium beverage packages, hence wait can be a little longer than expected, but who cares? We're on a cruise time, right? If I would have to pick out of all the places with glasses and bottles, I'd have to say that the Martini Bar was indeed our favorite. After a meal and that liquid dessert, it is time for a nap, you say? Alrighty, let's finally check out that stateroom. Buckle up, take another sarcasm pill if you must. This is going to be a good one, I promise. At a first glance, it is an awesome room. Nicely appointed and decorated for standard balcony affair that we've booked on all the cruises that we've taken prior, about a dozen of them or so. Neat contemporary decor, functioning storage, plenty of power for gizmos, very nice bathroom that seems larger than what we're used to on other cruise ships. And the balcony, I thought we paid for one. With an infinite veranda deal, by the way, most of the ocean-facing rooms are infinite verandas, you get a somewhat nice window that may or may not open depending on sea conditions and few other things. There's no way to sneak out on the balcony in the morning without waking up your partner, with the most annoying process of opening the blinds, then the window, then closing flimsy doors that frankly don't do anything to block the light or noise. As an added bonus, AC cuts off as soon as you try to open the damn window, which is a balcony. Pardon me if I sound overly sarcastically rude, but kudos to creative managers at Celebrity. What a perfect example of solving a problem that didn't exist. Do tell, what was wrong with having a simple balcony in the first place? And that is enough complaints for now. Onwards, we absolutely guarantee 95% positivity, as we are about to switch to ports and destinations. While we do our best to enjoy the ship and all it has to offer, cruising for us is equally as much about destination as it is about enjoying the floating hotel, no matter how nice it is. We started the journey from the port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Flew in a day before just to alleviate some of that made-up travel stress. Didn't hurt that we had a few Hilton points to burn, and on top of that we got upgraded to a stunning suite at the Conrad. Enough of showing off, let's get to the port. Port Everglades refurbished Terminal 25 just for the Edge ship, and whatever they did, I have to say, worked exceptionally well. Smooth, efficient, friendly. It took us about 15 minutes to check in and get on board. Ports of Miami, Barcelona, and Singapore, please take a note, will you? After a day or so at sea, our first destination was supposed to be Grand Cayman. Lovely island, definitely our favorite place in the Caribbean. We spent about a week there a few years back. On this cruise, we only got a chance to see it from the distance. Sea was too rough for the tendering, and after a brief yet lovely time of looking at the island from a distance, we moved on. No drama. Since we had a bit of extra time, we arrived at our next port of call, Curacao, way ahead of schedule. A lovely bonus, if you ask me. Funny to see San and his crew this far south. We knew exactly what we wanted to do with that spare time on this gorgeous island, as we have been here a few years ago. We simply took a cab to one of our favorite beach destinations, Casabal, and absolutely enjoyed every minute we spent there. Fantastic snorkeling, lovely beach, a bit of chill and good memories. Coming back to the ship is always a mildly exciting experience. And I almost forgot to mention one really neat thing that Celebrity did. On this ship, they turned the gangway deck into a lovely lounge by opening and dressing the place up. Kudos where kudos belong. After a very quick recuperation on the ship, still in Curacao, in the evening we decided to take a stroll to the downtown of Willemstad and check out the lovely colorful houses, as well as the famous Queen Emma Bridge. As touristy as it is, Iguana Cafe on the Planda side of the Willemstad gets you one of the best sunsets in the neighborhood. One of those rare occasions where ship doesn't leave until very late, so you have all the time in the world. We love you, Curacao. A quick nap away is our next destination, an island of Bonaire. First time for us, so we rented a car and decided to explore a bit. I know exploring is a stretch. This lovely, sleepy island has 4 gas stations, 4 roundabouts, 0 traffic lights. Even better. A preferred mode of transportation are either golf carts or scooters. Sorry, not for us. Even a beat-up SUV has air conditioning. In a day, it is very easy to hit all the touristy highlights and catch a few other ones that are not on the map. Touristy or not, we enjoy them all the same by taking our time and trying to keep things on an island time. Very leisurely, we checked out the southern part. Salt Mountains presented a bit of an Instagram challenge. You can't really get close to them and the light changes all the time. Oh well, still a very cool place. Slave huts are actually very interesting, as long as one invests time and waits for tour buses to pass and just chills there by the sea. Jibe City is a neat little place. Windsurfing is more fun to watch than try for us. And so we did. After meeting a few picturesque locals along the way, we moved on to the north part of the island. For a spot that is less than 25 miles long end to end, there is a surprising amount of diversity between the southern and northern parts. South is very flat and bare, while north-northwest gets some unexpected deserty vegetation, a few birds, and of course, best snorkeling and diving spots. I keep promising myself that one of these days I'll get certified and will manage to enjoy more than a minute at a time in the blue underwater paradise. Our final Southern Caribbean port of call was Aruba. Again, a first time for us, hence a car to allow for some flexibility in plans. By the way, renting a car at a cruise port on any of the islands is always a minor adventure, no matter how well you plan ahead. In the morning, we managed to beat the crowd to the town of St. Nicholas, second largest city on the island. St. Nic used to be centered around the refinery until the plant closed down. Since then, the town reinvented itself with tons of murals and artwork all over the place. Truly an awesome place to see, admire the art in these unusual surroundings, and snap a selfie or two. Well worth the visit. To get a change of scenery, we drove north, where by pure coincidence, somewhat planned as always, we landed on the most awesome beach in Aruba. Any of the coves in Catalina area give you a bit of privacy, a shade, and all the flavors of that turquoise color you want. Soft sand, nice underwater life, a bit of a challenge. A challenge? Well, locals told us about the World War II shipwreck about half a mile offshore. Smarter folks charter a boat to get there. Well, here I am deciding to simply take a swim. A bit of an effort, but well worth it. One of those things, when you experience something for the first time, it literally takes your breath away. And this is why we keep exploring the Caribbean and working towards getting all the islands checked off our bucket list. Still a fair amount of work to do, but at least now we know our ABCs, as in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. With that, cheers Caribbean, and until next time.